Hey there guitar players, welcome to the next instalment of our Fretboard knowledge series here on the Cutting Edge Guitar, the Anthony George Guitar channel. What I'm going to talk to you about today is triads and one of the ways that I get my students to be working on them and learning them. So once you've had a look at your intervals, the next thing is if you start taking some very powerful intervals and putting them together, we'll create triads. Now the intervals that I want to look at particularly here are roots. So I'm going to do this in the key of D minor. I'm going to take a D root note, then we're going to take a minor third, which in this case in the key of D will be an F, and then a perfect fifth, which will be an A. Okay, so D, F, A, root, minor third, fifth. Now what I want to do is I want to look at these in their inversions across the fretboard. So what I want to do is start from this root note over here. Now that is because you can play these triads in inversions over 3 strings on all the different string sets. But if we start today just on the G string there, what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to play these in their 3 inversions across the fretboard like this. Okay, so how we're going to do it, if we start from our D here, a root inversion would be this. We're going to play from G7 to B6 to E5. And then we can complete that by going up to E10. Now if we go to the next inversion, instead of going root, minor third, fifth, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to minor third, fifth, root. This is what we call first inversion for a triad, okay? So this will come out as G10, B10, E10, and then we'll complete that by going up to the minor third again at E13. Okay, so that's the first inversion, and then second inversion, that one starts on the fifth. So we're going to start on an A up here. We're going to go A, D, F, so we're going fifth, root, minor third, then we can play the fifth again up here to complete that shape. Now finally, if we go up here, what this is going to be is the octave position of this inversion. Okay, so once you play these, you can start looking at taking your inversions of your triads along the length of the neck. So there are a number of different ways that we can look at them. We could look at playing them positionally or along the length of the neck. Now playing them along the length of the neck is quite an interesting way to do them, because as a soloist it will give you the opportunity to allow things to build and to work towards a crescendo. So this is about fretboard knowledge at this point, but also you want to be looking at them in a way that one day you want to be able to musically implement them in your solos and all that sort of stuff. You would probably want to be able to combine your triads with like your traditional pentatonic style playing and things like that, because that will introduce intervallic leaps of your thirds rather than just constantly playing steps of scales and stuff like that, which does add a particular melodic interest. Now, an exercise that I get my students doing, I would use iReal Pro like we used in the last session. So I've just got a D minor backing track. And then what we would do with these inversions is take an exercise where we could just play them down and then up, and then what we would do is immediately move to the next one, and then the next, and then the next. Now you could do that just by taking a pause in between, so just to get them under your fingers. Then come back down. Now when you feel comfortable, what you can start doing is immediately going from one to the other. That will come out like this. 1, 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can play that back down as well. That'll come out like this. 2, 3, 4. And then of course you could combine align them going up and down, that would be like this. And of course, if you wanted to, you could start by going down and then coming up, or do it however you want. I recommend to my students to practice these things a number of different ways, because obviously the more different ways that you do it, it all helps you. Now, what we're doing there is just looking at playing them up and down the fretboard, but as soon as you have them under your fingers by doing those kinds of exercises, you can start incorporating them into your regular playing style. Now, one more thing on this just before I go is that you don't always have to just do them with your lateral motion. What you can also do with these is if you take the 3 string shapes in one position, you could play. So I've got this set of strings, this set of strings, this set of strings, and then I'm just going to finish it on a D there. So if I was to play that against my backing track, I could do. Exercises that you want to do, you just insert any pattern that you like or whatever. That's entirely up to you. Now, of course, if you want more help with those sorts of things, by all means come and check out the Cutting Edge Guitar platform, where I teach a whole host more things that you can do with all of that good stuff and become more proficient by using them up and down the fretboard. At the very least, if you would smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, that would help me out massively. And by all means, drop me a line in the comments to let me know if you're enjoying the content, and it would be lovely to see you in the next lesson. So take care for now, guys. Keep practicing. I'll see you then.